Alright, so let's go ahead and do it, man. Let's see how long it's going to take. But we should be able to pretty comfortably do Pit 100 now with Ball Lightning. So I'll drop a build guide and stuff later, but this is more just a showcase, and we'll talk a little bit about like what things you can run. So right now, what we do happen to have is we are running Lochran's Talisman, and we now also have Banished Lord's Talisman. And I think Banished Lords doesn't proc off of Lochran's crits. I don't know why Lochran's crits, for some reason, they're different. But it does seem like that there is some bugged interaction that goes on in between that mechanic. Because it doesn't register that sort of crit. Because how Lochran's Talisman works is your skills gain up to like 48% crit. And if you crit with Banished Lords, then you get like a big chunky overpower damage, and that's the orange that you're seeing. So yeah, this is eating pretty good. Next season, no problem, no problem. I like it. It's very, very smooth too. And one thing I really like with Sorc next season is it's gonna be so tanky, man. It's so tanky, and I have half the armor required. It really comes down to the Paragon points not being there. But the all lightning skills are going to be pretty good. I want to say you can play every single build next season with lightning. Like every single lightning skill will work. Now, I'm going to be honest, Charge Bolts is not something I recommend because it feels bad, but it's still playable, and I'll still drop a build guide for it. Because I've already like finished it. Okay, getting the channeling shrine just gives us immortality now, but not that it really matters. It doesn't really give us a big boost anyways, in terms of DPS or anything like that. I do miss from the previous season though the ability to break the damage resistance aura, but like you can sit in all of AoE, doesn't matter. I can't even see where the damage reduction guy is, but he's there. But yeah, I think that there is some sort of bug though, still with the Banished Lord's Talisman and Ball Lightning. I'm not sure what causes it, but you should start seeing a lot more overpowers. It should be about half of the skills are overpowering, but it doesn't seem like that at all. So hopefully we can see some adjustment or change on that. I was thinking that maybe I'm creating too many Ball Lightnings, and the Ball Lightning that rolled the Banished Lords, but it should be every other one because it costs 250 resource, and Banished Lords procs at 275, so it should be every other one. So if you look at the orange numbers, right, you should be seeing about 50% of them, but it's clearly not the case. And what I think's causing it, again, it could be that there's too many Ball Lightnings, and I'm thinking the additional Ball Lightnings do not proc Banished Lords. I know that there is a limit on how many Ball Lightnings that you can have in the game. I don't know what it is now. Assuming that it was about 20 before. Yeah, it should be 20. Yeah, it should still be 20. And I think what happens is the additional Ball Lightnings do not proc Banished Lords. But I also think that the Lochran's Talisman, for some reason, that crit does not apply properly. Alright, so we're almost done with this. It's a pretty fast pit run though. I literally, this was my first try, and I still need to run like a lot better stuff. This wasn't fished at all. I just started looking at the stats, I'm like, oh, this is actually like 100% doable. So let's see what the boss is going to be like for two different areas though. One is like the boss fight to see how long it takes, but also can we just face tank the boss? Because we gain it should be every 1 second, we gain 30% of our mana back. And because of that, we become pretty much immortal. We get a big damage boost over here. With it being stunned, there's another 30x, and there's probably some like lightning skills do more damage. There's a lot of Paragon nodes that I'm missing also for stun. The reason why I took him out is because it also gave us resource cost reduction, which I didn't want. But at this point, because you can't get specifically 275, you get so close. I got to 272, but if it doesn't work on 275, then it doesn't matter. Then you might as well just go at every other ball lightning. But you can't even see the Banished Lord's Talisman buff. But we're able to maintain, you can see, max ball lightnings. But the secondary ball lightnings that get casted for free on like your, it's not lucky hit, but it's just like when you cast ball lightning, you get double, right? It's just like all the other skills. That doesn't proc off of Banished Swords because it doesn't spend the mana. And that kind of is fair, but I still think that there's a bug with the Locran's Talisman. And it's crit not counting, because when I swap to Air Perdition, which does give us more DPS, I see a lot more of the numbers. Yo, thank you so much for the sub, Roadies. That beautiful music. Alright, I gotta lock in and kill the boss. Let's see, can we tank all of the blood? Oh! It got a little dangerous there. Did you guys see that? But well, I think we got him. We can take him down, no problem. Okay, and then this next couple seconds here, we'll get him down. But yeah, I'll make a brief like a kind of overview, and this is more so a showcase that it can do Pit 100 because that was something I was personally care about. But stuck in the 2000s, hey, that's a great era, man. Thank you so much for the sub, mate. Let me give you a katana flip for the sub, my good friend. Arigato. But let me go ahead and talk a little bit about the build as far as the overview for Season 11. So, what makes it special? What makes it special that you couldn't have access to before is you have incredible survivability. Remember, I have 500 armor. This is half the armor that's required. The stuff that gives us immortality is really powerful now. And this isn't going to be a build guide, but I'm going to be dropping a build guide. Just give me basically a day because I want to try to test everything out, but I know people are going to want it now, so I'm just going to deliver it now. So, Air Perdition, it's great for crit. The Locran's Talisman also gives us crit, but I'll start from the top. So this way, if you guys want to kind of think about other ways to give suggestions for improvement, because that's the point of like an overview in terms of a build. This is not, again, a build guide, but it's an overview of the build, which you could use it for the build guide, but I will make the build guide more likely better. So Air Perdition, you need this thing for the crit, because again, I think that Locran's doesn't register properly. Anyways, Banished Lord's Talisman, core skills, and of course, the Overpower. And then we run the Crown of Lucian. Now, it won't show it right here. It shows 190 mana cost, but the mana cost will go up every single time by 30%. And this will make it cost more mana. Costing more mana equals more Banished Lord's Talisman activation. So that's like good, right? We're using the negative for the positive. And then Locran's Talisman, it gives us a massive amount of crit, but I'm gonna be honest, I think that this doesn't work properly. You don't really need to get anything GA here. It's not anything really important, other than maybe you can get crit strike damage and masterwork that. I just kind of, whatever was masterworking, I just want to play. So that was something that you could consider. Maybe there's a bug with it. Then the Fist of Fate, so we can get some RNG and damage, but it also gives us a way to apply vulnerability that's not the lightning spears, but that's also another way. And then I'm running accelerating here. If you guys have better suggestions, let me know. Now, I'm not sure how gravitational registers, but I swear it does good DPS. Even though it says it only does 500 damage, that scales with ball lightning. What's the scaling? I don't know, man. But it seems like it's actually pretty good. We can actually get a better amulet. Instead of attack speed, we could get another damage multiplier, but I don't think attack speed is bad. There just comes to a certain point where you have too many ball lightnings. Once you're at 20, there's no point. You saw that we actually reached the top end pretty frequently, so perhaps it's like okay to have, right now we have 80, but accelerating gets activated in category 2, so it's actually we would have an additional, we'd be at 110 for attack speed. So this one over here, we could maybe swap them out. But I like it that every single ball lightning sucks everybody in, which is kind of cool. We want this for core skills. And of course, this is one of the better rings in Season 10. So like no one's going to play Tal Rasha's anymore if you're playing lightning. If you're playing lightning builds, this literally rolls same thing as Tal Rasha's for damage, and you don't have that clunkiness of like you gotta activate all these different things. It's up 100% time. You also get crit and cooldown. The Tal Rasha's, you get non-fizz, which is not bad. This one you still have lightning, so they basically cancel each other out in terms of the damage, but then you get free extra crit And then you also get elemental synergies, which is so good in the next season. That's why we play all lightning. If you see any lightning build next season, they're all playing this. It's like required. And then of course the ball lightning thing. I don't have the chance for ball lightning's projectiles to cast twice at 100%, and I actually don't think you want it. Unless they fix it, because again, it doesn't proc with Banished Lords. If they change this is a massive buff, but I think Lockrands is the item that if I was to replace an item, that's the item I would probably replace for maybe something else. But you guys give me your thoughts on it. But in addition to that, I wanted to go over the Chaos perks as far as like the build goes in the overview here. But this one's pretty cool because this one is like 100x damage. It reduces our resources by 20. Does that actually matter when we have 10,000 mana? No. If you really want to get extra tanky, you can play Harlequin, or you can get double tankiness if you play the Axial Conduit pants. I don't know where they are. Or just they're normally pants, but you can get them in boots and like other categories too. But as far as the powers go, this is like a non-negotiable. Like you have to play this. The next thing is advanced techniques. So your core skills cost more, which is good because then again Banished Lord. So we're using the negative for the positive. And then the last little point over here, you can play whatever you want. If you do play Air of Perdition to help out with armor, if you really want to have more tankiness, you can see I had no problem. I literally sat in the AoE. Granted, I was still casting skills. If you're not casting skills, then you don't get that 30% mana regen. It's 30% of your mana. Then you can't face tank everything. If you do want to face tank everything, this would be even better because our HP is, well, you can see it's 22 HP. So going down to 11 is nothing. But it does boost our max res by another 10, and we get 40x armor. Then we're res capped, and then by a massive amount, we're 85, which is crazy. And then we also gain that huge armor. So if you want to get more tankiness, you can go that route. Or if you want extra cooldown reduction, I thought this one was kind of good. It's just lucky hit chance on so many ball lightnings. Ball lightning has a pretty bad lucky hit chance on the base though. It says 11, but remember ball lightning is we're gonna get so many of them hitting, it makes it kind of a little bit better. But the main reason why I liked it isn't for really anything else than teleport, because I like playing with teleport. The other option is to get a Harlequin that has a greater affix cooldown reduction and then triple masterwork crit it, which dude, I didn't even hit it more than once on this. Now, would that be ideal if you would want to go fast? I think that can be one of the better speedrun builds because you can have this pull in everything. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna drop a fireball build guide that's the best like farming build, because you literally tap that thing once and it blows up the entire screen. It can off screen. You can go multiple screens with that thing. Granted that you'll have to be on widescreen if you want to get those multiple screens. Yeah, it's so dang good next season for ball lightning. But fireball, I still think is like the ultimate S tier build next season because they gave it so many buffs, and on top of that, the ability for Endless Rage is pretty strong. But if you were a fan of ball lightning, this is pretty good too though, because it's going to pull in all of them, and then the damage actually seems pretty good on it. Again, I know it says 500, it seems like it's actually good, because after testing, you know, what could do pit 100, this build can definitely do it though, no problem. This is literally I walked in after making this build and it was already pretty good, and I don't even have everything perfected here, and I think that we can get stuff to be much better. Like for example, Crown Lucian, Lucky Hit Chance, we get that in cooldown reduction. That would be ideal. We can get crit because you don't really need more resources, because Lockrands has a cap. By the way, there's a cap of, what is it? Up to 500 more resource, and we're already at 10,000, so that's like way overboard. And then with this, we can obviously get like a double GA here, and we want crit instead of vulnerable damage. I didn't even go and reroll certain things, and then you can get a much better amulet obviously as well. But yeah, really good. If you're a fan of ball lightning, it's looking pretty good. I don't think there's anything to go over that's important here, other than at first I removed resource, and if you're wondering how do we get stunned, it's the lightning spear. So I was actually missing 70% damage. I just slammed it into int over here because eliminator is good. But I was missing this node over here. As far as survivability, one thing that's cool in the next season, you don't need to get any HP in the build, which actually makes the Paragon so easy. You can get like maxed out at Paragon like 200 for the most part. Like you can get everything in. Now if you want to get the extra like, you know, small amount of damage nodes, I think that you could make this build a little bit stronger. And it already does pit 100 relatively comfortable, and it doesn't require everything absolutely perfect. A lot of the pit 100 builds really require almost everything to be perfect. Like if you've played Rogue, you know everything has to be absolutely perfect. But anyways, Showcase Ball Lightning does pit 100. I'll drop a build guide very soon, but if there's any ways to improve this, because this is an overview video of kind of how it works, let me know down below.